Oh god. Oh my god. Why was I like this? Hey guys, so I was cleaning out my desk drawers the other day and I came across this, which is my 7th grade diary. I found it quite interesting because I have not seen this for a while now. And so I was rereading through it and it was definitely something. I was definitely very different back then. So it was kind of just funny to read through it. And so I thought, why not read some of these entries to you guys? Because obviously exposing myself to the entire world is like an amazing idea. Gotta do it for the views. So yeah, so I just went through here and I bookmarked some of the most interesting or most cringy or most entertaining entries, whatever you want to call it. So don't judge me too hard. I'm pretty sure you guys were all embarrassing when you were younger. It's just that you don't have documentation to prove it, but I do. I'm scared. Like, I've already been through this already. Like, I've already read through it. That's how I know which ones I bookmarked, but it's still kind of, it's gonna be different reading these out to a camera because I've never shared this with anyone and now I'm gonna expose it to the entire world. Because why not? So let's get started. Tuesday, November 4th, 2014. So I was 12 and this was like 2-3 months into 7th grade. So my first year of junior high. I said, wow, junior high is busy and makes your schedule packed tightly. Honey, you got a big storm coming. So I used to sleep at 9 p.m. in junior high every single night, which is crazy to me now to think about because I sleep really, really late these days. You know, I would sleep at 9 p.m. and complain about being tired the next day because I thought that was kind of late. Junior high was not busy at all. Now that I've been through high school and I've graduated, high school was 100 times busier than junior high ever was. So you're in for quite a ride. Sunday, November 23rd, 2014. Oh god. Oh my god. Why was I like this? Am I insensitive? Am I cold-hearted? Am I cruel? Am I? Or am I just foolish? I can't believe how badly I messed up my relationship with blank. I've always run into problems regarding love. So maybe I'm just incapable of love. Why was I like this? And then there's a parentheses and it says, am I being dramatic? You think? And then it says, but the truth is, I think I just fall in love too quickly. I rush into things too fast. And suddenly, boom, there's no way out. This is so dramatic for a 12-year-old dude. I like how I'm like super melodramatic about it. Like, maybe I'm just incapable of love. Like, no, maybe you're just 12 and you don't know what love is. Okay, moving on. Tuesday, November 25th, 2014. 2 months. 2 more months before I turn 13. A real teenager, finally. It's weird to me to think of that now. Like, back then I was like, oh, just 2 more months till I turn into an actual teenager, because now I'm 18 and I'm like, I have maybe like 1.5 years left of being a teenager, so this is a long time ago. 5 more years before I set off for college. Will it be Stanford, MIT, UCLA? Hopefully it'll be a good college. When I was younger, I thought that prestige was everything, and now I'm like, it's not really as big of a deal as you thought. And it says, I hope to major in programming. So like, in a way that worked out. So 12-year-old me, you did kind of predict it because I'm going to UCLA for computer science, which is programming. But it's interesting to see that even at 12 years old, I had all these dreams or like these goals. It's just, it seems so bizarre to me now. Kind of need to chill a little bit, you know? Thursday, December 4th, 2014. I'm so awkward around guys I like. Oh, okay, so this is the guy I liked for like a long time. Let's call him Bob, because that's a generic name and I don't think you can figure out any clues from it. So take Bob, for example. I stutter and appear really clumsy and stupid around him. I feel like I still do that. I mean, I don't like anyone right now, but I feel like if I had liked somebody, I would still be really awkward because I'm just awkward. That's just part of me. I always get hypnotized by him and I feel like my mind goes blank. I don't think that's how hypnotizing works, but it's a mood. I feel like I relate very hard to that. Still, Friday, December 12th, 2014. It's 12:12 and wishes come true today. Do they? I thought it was 11:11 on the clock when you make a wish. Well, my wish is to become someone's girlfriend. Why did I wish for that? Advice for my 12-year-old self? Chase your dreams, not men. I'm just saying. Chase your dreams, not guys. The whole middle school obsession with everyone like having crushes or like going on dates, which I never really experienced. A lot of people were experiencing their first dates in middle school, and so it's this whole fixation around that. Now my priorities are a lot different. Like, if it happens, it happens, but back then I was like, everyone's in a relationship, why am I not? Saturday, January 10th, 2015. Okay, so this entry is about another guy, not Bob. What should I call him? Okay, let's call him Joe, because that's also a generic name. I thought I didn't like Joe. I thought I had no interest in him. Zero. Zilch. But now I'm really not sure anymore. Every single time I think about him, I get butterflies in my stomach. My heart leaps whenever I see the words, Joe and his last name. The way it's written is so cringy. When I'm with him, I feel as if all my troubles are gone. I feel so content talking and laughing with him. I don't know what's wrong with me. A lot. I don't know why and if I like him. The funniest part about this is that 2 weeks after this, I kind of just lost interest. Wednesday, January 28th, 2015. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Literally a couple weeks after that, this entry is about Bob again. Oh my god. Why? All it says is just sometimes I stare at him in history, in English. Of course, I always look away quickly when he looks my way, but I can't help feeling like he's caught me staring multiple times. That is just the strangest thing to read now because okay, I do not identify with this. This is not me. It's not who I am anymore. Wow. I kind of sound like a serial killer. Anyway, Monday, March 16th, 2015. I've turned 13 at this point. It just literally has a picture of a heart, but shattered into a broken heart. And it just says, "This is what my heart is like right now. Bob has a girlfriend." Oh, okay. So this is when I heard that Bob was dating somebody and I was super sad about it. This is really cringe to read. Okay. We're just gonna read it anyway. So it says, "Bob has a girlfriend. I'm so jealous. Whatever. I feel like my heart has been ripped up, cracked open, and stomped on." Why is this so overdramatic? I am shocked and I just want to scream and yell. Go crazy. I don't care. I can't even keep a straight face reading this. And then it gets into this whole, I just wrote this whole dramatic piece of writing. Hope is a dangerous thing. It turns lethal when your hopes get too high. Before you know it, you are drowning in your worthless, never to come true dreams. You are left to die. Like a fish out of water, you lay there as all hope drains out of you. Wow, I went through a whole metaphor for this. And along with the receding tide, go all of your will, your heart, your soul. The only thing left eventually is your broken self, laying forlornly and forgotten on a beach of nothingness. Slowly, wow, I thought it would stop there, but it keeps going. Slowly, even your abandoned self disintegrates, adding itself to the pebbly sands of the beach of eternal isolation. This is so dramatic for absolutely no reason at all. Oh, there's more. And isolated you stay for the rest of eternity and beyond. I need a few seconds to process that. Oh, the best part is the next entry. All it says is, "Sorry for being so dramatic in my last entry." No comment. All I'm gonna say is I'm not like that anymore, so I am not as dramatic as that, and I'm definitely not this weird, and I'm not this cringy, and I'm not this creepy anymore, so I promise I'm a normal person. So this is finally an entry that's not about a guy. Sunday, May 17th, 2015. OMG, there are exactly 8 pages, including this one, left in here. This has been the almost complete written record of my 7th grade year, and when I read it, I see my feelings captured through every breakup. With the wrong friends. Every breakup with the wrong friends. Achievement, every mistake, through all the happy moments and all the sad. Yeah, that is true. I went through a lot of ups and downs in 7th grade, whether it was friends or just my self-confidence or being shy, because I entered junior high super shy, and I was still pretty shy at the end of 7th grade, but I think I did improve. Yeah, I used the same words. I said 7th grade's been a long string of ups and downs, and things have constantly been changing, but I think I've changed pretty drastically from the way I was when I entered 7th grade and junior high 9 months ago. That might be the only thing in here that I still agree with. So that's some wholesome content. Okay, and then last entry, Friday, May 22nd, 2015. So this is maybe 2 or 3 weeks before 7th grade ended, and it happens to be the last entry in here because I ran out of pages. So I did continue this obviously in my other notebooks, but that's for another time. Okay, so before I go into this, I'm just gonna give a little bit of backstory. So basically, at the start of 7th grade, I started hanging out with this girl. Let's just call her Kay. So at first she seemed like a really cool person and everything, and she also had another friend, this other girl who was already friends with her from elementary school. So when I started hanging out with them, I was like, oh, this is super cool. We can be a group of 3 and it'll be perfect and it'll be fun. But what I found out later on is that Kay was apparently scared that me and her old friend would like each other too much and then leave Kay out, which is a really strange thing to be paranoid about, especially because none of us ever showed any intent of doing that. You'd have to be really inconsiderate to do something like that, right? But because she was scared, she spread lies to both of us. So she would tell me that her friend hated me and everything, and that she was saying all this bad stuff about me, and then she would turn around and talk to her friend and say that I was saying all this bad stuff about her, which neither of us actually did. But so it created like a bunch of tension, and it got to the point where I felt like me and her old friend kind of just tolerated each other because we thought we hated each other, which wasn't even true. But Kay made that up to drive like a wedge between us. But slowly it became more and more exposed, and I started to find out, and so did her friend. So that started a fight, and also another thing was that so even in the course of our friendship, I realized later that it was super toxic what Kay was doing to me. But she would basically force me to do all these really embarrassing things, or like dare me to do these unreasonable things, and she would make fun of me while I did it. But if I said no, or if I said like I don't want to do it, or even if I got upset, then she would give me the cold shoulder and she wouldn't hang out with me. And so me being the insecure 7th grader I was, I just let people walk all over me because I was like, I would rather have a toxic friend than not have anybody, because I didn't want to be seen as that one lonely kid in middle school, which, it sounds dumb, but I'm pretty sure you guys can understand it. Anyone who's been through middle school, like, you don't want to be that one person who's alone and getting made fun of by everyone else for being alone. So I kind of just went with it, and so I would suffer all of these things. I would not enjoy my time with Kay and her friend, but I did it because I was like, at least I have somebody, which is totally the wrong mindset. Like, from my perspective now, it's way better to be alone than to be with a toxic friend, but I didn't know that back then. It got to the point where there was this one day where I kind of just had enough, and even though I was insecure, I was like, I can't put up with this anymore. So kind of walked away from her, distanced myself, and for a while I didn't hang out with her. And so she got really pissed off about it, and I think that's what I talked about here in my last entry. So it says, I hate to end this diary on a sour, bitter note, and I won't, because although things are really screwed right now, they aren't all bad. Yeah, so this was probably like the lowest point in my 7th grade year. For starters, let me tell what happened today. This morning and at lunch, Kay gossiped and stalked me again as expected. Oh yeah, so she would like follow me around campus. It was really, really weird. And she would like constantly give me grief, even though like I was just trying to mind my own business. She would follow me and stuff. But then on the way to PE, as me and Michelle were walking side by side, Kay saw us and cut across to next to Michelle. So Michelle is like, she was one of my best friends in 7th grade. She's actually still one of my best friends. So we would always walk to PE together. And then so Kay pushed me back hard and tried to go side by side with Michelle. When Michelle told her she was pushing me, Kay was like, oh, I didn't say who it was. What a phony. Yeah, she got really physical. And then as we went into the locker room, she pushed me hard. And I stormed off to my locker and put my backpack on top of the lockers. Oh yeah, so we used to have to put our backpacks on top of the lockers in the locker room so that they wouldn't be all over the floor. Guess what? Kay gave me a nasty look over the top of the lockers and then pushed my backpack off. It didn't hit me, but it almost did. Yeah, that was honestly kind of terrifying because my backpack was not light and she would just like shove it off. I put it back and she pushed it again. Finally, she stopped. She came over to my side and said, how'd you enjoy that? And then she said, there's gonna be a fight on Tuesday, be prepared. So it was really strange for me to be approached by somebody and say like, we're gonna have a fight, be prepared. Like, I've literally never heard that in my life. And I still haven't heard that from anybody after that. So like, that's the one and only time that someone's ever challenged me to a fight. Later, as I walked outside, she threw rocks at me. Yeah, she threw like little pebbles from the blacktop. So we played 2-on-2 basketball today, and when we played against her, she threw and slammed the ball really hard at me, but I caught it, parentheses, ha. Then I scored and she grabbed my hair and yanked really hard, saying, what is wrong with you? It was honestly very scary, the things she was doing. Like, she got super, super physical again, like I said, like yanking my hair. No one's ever like attacked me like that before. Oh yeah, so after that, so I'm gonna skip over some of this. I basically walked to my next period and I told some of my friends in that class what was happening. They were like, oh, we'll like help you out. Like, tell us if she's giving you any trouble. We'll like come and beat her up or like defend you. And I was like, oh my god, like thank you. And then not that I condone violence, but it was just nice that they were like, oh, we'll support you. So at the end of class, so I was walking out with them, and it says, as I walked out of the doorway with me, Kay came into view. So apparently she'd been standing in front of the classroom, waiting for me, probably to give me trouble. Yeah, I still remember this. She was waiting right outside the door, and she had like this really scary look on her face. And then she saw me talking to these, my friends were like 8th graders, and we were 7th graders. So I guess there was like a little bit of a level of intimidation. But then she put 2 and 2 together, and the look on her face was priceless. She stormed off angrily. And then I have parentheses, ha, sucker. Okay, not the best comeback, but yeah, that was it. Until like this fight never happened just because I think she got scared and she knew that I had people on my side. That definitely wasn't the end of the drama, but that's like for another time. Basically, she got very, very aggressive verbally after that. It was a whole mess. I cried, whatever. But then seventh grade ended, and then over the summer, she like emailed me to say sorry, and I like didn't reply. And then eighth grade started, and she would again stalk me at lunch and be like, please forgive me and stuff. And like, at first I ignored her, but then I was like, you know what? You're like being hella annoying. So I just told her I was never gonna hang out with her again because at this point I'd already found some better friends. But I said that we could just forget about it and move on because I didn't really want to hold grudges, which is something I learned. Like, holding grudges doesn't help anybody. But yeah, so that was the end of that. Yeah, so that is my seventh grade diary. This thing is a little bit cursed, honestly, because I can't even get through like half of the entries in here without cringing physically. It's a lot. I was definitely a very different person back then. I was just a typical shy, insecure middle schooler who was just focused on a lot of things that I thought were important, but now looking back, none of these were big problems. I was working myself up over nothing. But you know, that's part of learning and growing. You realize that the stuff that really bothered you in the past, you're like, it's nothing at this point. Like, it's really just nothing. So, I promise I am not the creepy person that I seem like I am in here, and I'm definitely not this cringy anymore. Like, I was reading through my recent journal entries, and they're like a lot more serious and like stuff that's a lot more important than this kind of seventh grade drama. No one can say that their middle school years weren't cringy unless you're some kind of like super fan, in which case, like, get out of here. You're not like us. Yeah, so I might read some of my other journals some other time just because I have a lot, since 11 years of journaling does that to you. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. As cringy as it was, I'd love to hear about your experiences if you've ever tried journaling, or like what your middle school experiences were, if there's any funny stories from your time in junior high. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.